Hi. It has been 9 months since my last confession, since my last video. Yeah, it's been 9 months since my last video. Can you guys believe it? This year has been going by so fast. I am super excited to be able to film this video because I'm going to be talking about how I got my literary agent. That's right. As of last October, I officially am an agent and author. It's super exciting. It all happened super fast, comparatively speaking. So yeah, let's get right into it. How did this perfect storm of stuff happen? So I started my author career back in 2014. At the time I was writing novellas, specifically sapphic novellas. I wrote and self-pubbed one in December of 2014 and then the sequel in I think February of 2015. I did self-publish a couple other novellas, but I've since taken them down because I'm trying to really rework them and see if I like them, especially since my voice has kind of changed over the years. I had been self-pubbing for roughly a year and I started ghostwriting. I did that because I didn't really know what I wanted to write. I didn't really know what I wanted to focus on, but I also needed to make money. And so I'm a writer. That's kind of what I do. I was an English teacher at the time. I started writing. I started ghostwriting. I had 3 consistent clients that of course I won't name. But yes, so I did that for about 5 years. And then in 2020, I decided that I was ready to put out my own works again. I put out a couple of novellas before I put out Cups of You, which is the first book in my Coffee Shops of Love series. That is 3 books. All of those 3 books are available on Amazon and under Kindle Unlimited, and it's exclusively on Amazon, I will say. But yeah, so I put out 3 of those books, and it's kind of a perfect storm of the right people being in your life at the right time, because I was essentially bullied into writing book 3 of that series. And while I was writing book 3 of that series, I was then bullied into writing another book. And it's actually the book that I got my agent. And so I am part of Word Makers, and it's kind of a group of pretty much writing ass writers. We do writing sprints, usually daily. I usually join the Night Owls writing sprints because I have a day job, and so I usually only have time to write at night because with my day job I also have my son and I'm a single parent. So writing usually only happens after the kid goes to sleep. So yes, we were in our writing group. We were just kind of talking about things, chit-chatting, and we started talking about weird or kind of obscure or just sports that you don't expect people to say that they do. And of course, for me, I did bowling in high school and in college. And so they were like, oh, you have to write a book about bowling. And I thought, you're right. I have to write a book about bowling. Let's do this. But after I finished this book that I'm supposed to self-pub in May. So I finished my self-pub book, and as soon as it's released, all of my author friends are like, all right, so when is the bowling book coming? When is the bowling book coming? When is the bowling book coming? And so I said, you know, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do it now. And it must have been just the perfect storm of everything happening because I wrote that book in 2 months. My goal eventually had always been to get an agent and to be traditionally published. I am the type of person who does a 5-year plan, and that was part of year 3 through 5. Well, my friends were like, no, that's not good enough. You need to try to do that now. And so I started doing some research about agents that I would potentially want to query. I think I narrowed it to about 10 agents. And while I was doing that, I got a notification about DivPit. I had never done any pitch events on Twitter. I paid attention to a few of them just because I liked what they were trying to do, and I tried to support people who were doing it, but I had never participated myself. And so, you know, since I already had my manuscript, I asked my author friends, and I should have known what they were going to say. But I was just like, hey guys, can I do DivPit? And they were like, stop asking dumb questions. So yes, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing div pit. So we sat down and they helped me craft 6 pitches that I then scheduled to go out every 2 hours of the day of the event, because my anxiety would never allow me to sit there and press send. That's just not something that I'm really capable of doing. So yeah, I got it ready. They helped me out. I had everything scheduled, and then I let it go. And the day of the event, I told myself I'm not paying any attention because I can't. Once again, my anxiety would never. However, about 10 or 11 o'clock that morning of the event, I started getting texts from some of my friends, and they're like, oh, such and such has liked your pitch. Now I have to pay attention. Now I have to pay attention to the pitch and see who's liking it. So I do, of course, and once that happens, I kind of get sucked in the hole of like, let me see who's actually liking my pitches, because there's always that fear during a pitch event that nobody's going to like your pitches. And of course, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong, because it's really difficult to hook someone when you only have 240 characters or so to do it. And so, but I was looking and I was seeing that there were agents that were liking my pitches, and also editors from some really awesome publishing houses that were liking my pitches as well. And so one of those people who liked my pitch is my current agent. But I then took that once the event was over, and I researched the specific agents, as well as I also researched the editors, because some publishing houses will take unagented work. Other publishing houses will not take unagented work. So I had to see which ones would, which ones wouldn't, and who I could and could not reach out to. So I reached out. My author friends helped me get my query package ready, because like I said, this was something that I had planned on doing in years 3 through 5, and we're still in year 1 of my 5-year plan. I did another pass of my book just to make sure it was essentially as good as it could be without outside help. And sent everything out and prepared to wait. If you know anything about traditional publishing, you know that a lot of it is just playing the waiting game. So while I was waiting, another pitch event popped up on my feed. This time I was proactive. I did not ask them if I should do this pitch event, because I knew what the answer would be, and I did not need to be told about myself once again. I have a 10-year-old. I get that enough as it is. So I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get things ready, and I'm going to join this pitch event. And I did. I did the same thing like I did last time. I scheduled my tweets to go out. I tried to ignore my phone, and I got more agent likes. A couple of those agents that liked my Pit Black tweets also had liked my Div Pit. And so I just reached out to them and said, hey, this is the same manuscript. Let me know if you need any additional information. And then once again, I prepared to wait. However, and I will go into more detail about this in another video that I plan on making, I actually then had to reach out to the agents who either had my query, and one agent had my full. And I had to let them know, hey, there's a publisher who's interested. I would love to let them know by such and such date. You know, please let me know, you know, if you would like the full to read my manuscript. I did hear back from about 5 of those agents that they did want my full. I heard back from a few of the other agents that they did not have time, but like they absolutely wished me well, and they couldn't wait to read the book once it came out. And one of those, once again, is now my current agent. And at that point, I went ahead and sent fulls out to people who, to agents who had asked for it. 3 of the 5 agents got back to me pretty quickly, said they loved the book. They wanted to schedule a phone call. And at that point, I freaked out. I absolutely freaked out. I was super excited. I had to be talked down from like vibrating out of my skin, and kind of go in with a game plan and with questions and things to ask them, because really it's not just about if they want to work with you, it's also about if you want to work with them. And you know, there are some agents who represent some of the books that like I love, but you know, things like communication styles might not mesh well. So I had 3 really awesome conversations, 3 offers of rep, and so I took those. They also offered the names of some of their clients for me to reach out to and just kind of, you know, go with any questions, ask them how it is to work with the agents, you know, communication styles, really anything that I would want to know before I sign, because, you know, signing with the right agent is super important, especially if you want to make this your career. And I do. After that, I narrowed it down and I chose one agent to sign with, and that is Taj McCoy at Ree's Literary Agency. I was super excited to sign with her. I feel like she really got my book in a very nuanced way, which was great. I also love the fact that she was super open to me continuing to self-pub a book here or there. I feel like it was just, everything was like a great fit. And so, yes, I am super happy to say, as of October of 2022, I am an agented author. And yes, I actually also already have a book deal. So that will be another video where I talk about that process. There's a little bit of overlap, but that was really also super cool to happen. I did not expect that to happen as quickly as it did either. Everything happened a lot faster than I thought it was going to, and I'm just like super over the moon about it and excited to get things going. If you like this video, please stick around. I plan on doing a lot more videos about the trad pub process as well as the self-pub process, since I do plan to continue self-pubbing roughly once a year. My next video will come out in a week or 2, depending on how it goes. Thanks for listening, and hope to see you next time. Bye.